ask artists different things when I initially meet them. I ask them what songs move them. What's the thing that you hear that makes you want to write? Because I feel like I'm cooking for you. If I don't know what your taste is, then how can I chef it?
In hip-hop, sampling is like alchemy. It's an art form that rearranges space and time, and the producers who build on the tradition use sonic DNA from the past to cook up the future. Now, even when you know how it works, it can still feel like magic. Salaam Remy's superpower is collaboration. Now, he's reworked classic samples in the most unexpected ways to give artists their signature sound. His work with two legends in particular shows how he inspires performances that turn something borrowed into something brand new.
The Incredible Bongo Band's Apache is one of the records that we believe were played on August 11, 1973 at Kool Herc's first hip-hop party, like the birth of hip-hop in that day. So I was sampling Apache, and I decided to slow it down. And when I hit it, it turned into... This song actually came at a time when Nas had a lot going on. My mom had passed 2001. His mom had passed 2002. He was at odds with radio stations in New York. You know, he just gone through the battle with Jay-Z. It was just all this drama. And Nas being himself is sitting there watching all this stuff go around and being quiet and going, all right, cool.
Now let's get it all in perspective. For all y'all enjoyment, a song y'all can step with. Y'all appointed me to bring rap justice, but I ain't 5-0, y'all know it's Nas, yo.
At first, I didn't know. I was like, so that's what we doing? Like, I thought he was gonna be on top of the beat. I was like swinging ratchets. I was thinking about, you know, break dancing, b-boy, and doing the Brooklyn. Like, I was hearing all this energy. And he leaned back the other way. He didn't jump up when the record jumped up. He didn't try to chase the beat. He leaned back on the beat and let the beat propel him. And it was genius.
They shooting. Made you look. You a slave to a page in my rhyme book. Getting big money, playboy, your time's up. Where them gangsters, where them dimes at? They shooting. Made you look.
Because I'd use Apache on Made You Look, and the way I did it, I'm like, somebody's gonna come and sample this and then try to make an R&B record out of my record. Probably before Nas's record even was fully out, I'd already started on In My Bed, because I was like, I wanted to beat whoever was gonna try to sample me to the punch. You know, Amy made me a better producer. She was just a real sharp girl who had a knack for saying really smart stuff. And I had a knack for pushing her to write what she really was thinking. It's like, even when we were doing In My Bed, I was like, I'm not letting you use the Nas beat unless you write a song that I like without the Nas beat. And she just figured out what chords would work over the Nas beat. And then I was like, all right, now the beat's out of here. You ain't getting that beat turned back on unless I like this song.
Wish I could say it breaks my heart like you did in the beginning.
To me, it's all about lyrics and knowing what the lyrical intent is and knowing what the intent of the record is, and then I'll find an interesting way to make the juxtaposition musically.
Yours is a familiar face, but that don't make your place safe in my bed, my bed.
Played Tears Dry on their own.
Kiss goodbye to sunset.
When I met Amy Winehouse, she was on some I'm a jazz singer.
Here's a darkness we once knew, and this deep regret I had to get accustomed to.
So basically the entire song, Tears Dry on Their Own, was written as a down-tempo song. And then I'd come across Ain't No Mountain High Enough stems at one point where they had the instrumental.
Ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby.
This could actually fit to that song. And she was like, I don't know about that, buddy.
Fuck it, I knew I'd do that. I knew that would catch.
She was still trying to, you know, get to the sample because she wrote it as a, all I would have was into you. And I'm like, she had to get to a whole shimmy. She was like, how? And this is all in a couple of days of her writing.
He takes the day when I'm gone, acting your way in this blue shade. My tears dry on their own.
My evolution of sampling really went from needing the sample because I couldn't figure out how to program it, to the point where now I'm able to sample the sonic of something and listen to it and not actually physically sample the record at all. Hip hop is taking anything from anywhere on the planet and pulling it back to this man's story at this moment. That's what I live for.
He walks away.
Just getting her to go and do it at that level and that tempo, oh, she was mad at me.
And perspective was just, fuck this, let me run it up, what's up?
Basically, she kept going, hell no, I'm not doing this. Like, why am I doing that?